Let's just drop the bomb right out of the gate here. Mold is epidemic. I mean, you saw several podcasts you and I've done together on mold. I got exposed. My levels of ochratoxin were off the chart. I had a ton of symptoms. We took the family and lived in a hotel temporarily to escape until we could find a new plan. I had to get rid of a lot of clothes that were contaminated. I even tried doing some special laundry detergent we use and couldn't save some of my clothes. So I know firsthand that this can be a huge problem for people, and it can be frightening because conventional doctors, which we hear this all the time during consults, they just don't really have a clue about this. And if you go to the emergency room with dizziness and shortness of breath and blood pressure issues and hives and skin reactions and food sensitivities and all these other what may to some people be crazy symptoms, you're just going to get like an anti-anxiety medication and you get sent home. And that's where people start to question their sanity. So I hope that we can provide some sanity today and then also provide some actions, action strategies of how to get this crap out.
100%. So the first off is, how do we eliminate mold from our body anyway? So we have a couple of reasonable means of detoxification. The big ones that we're pushing are going to be via bile/stool, because your liver and your gallbladder make bile. Your gallbladder stores it and concentrates it. And then we excrete that, one, to help break down fat. And some of that is going to be captured in the stool and eliminated via the stool. Some is going to be out the urine, right? And a lot of mold testing, if we're testing someone, we're going to be testing via mold in their urine. So we're actually using urine as a way to assess mold excretion and mold levels. So the gut, stool, and urine/kidneys are going to be the biggest ways. We have some other ancillary ways we may be pushing and provoking, such as using sauna or infrared therapy, which we're using the skin and the sweat to kind of excrete some of these things. Obviously, if you're a pregnant mom, you may even be using breast milk. That's why it's important to really get yourself healthy. So we're limiting the baby's exposure to mold via breast milk. So those are kind of some of the big ways and means the body is going to eliminate mold. Now, first thing out of the gate, I'm not a huge fan of jumping on and going after mold right away, unless we have some type of acute exposure or we know we're in an environment where mold is present, where we can visually see it. We have very abnormal high amounts of mold via testing. We know there was a major flood or some area and we weren't able to remediate it. So typically I don't love to go after it right away, partly because healthy gut function is going to be one of the major ways that we detoxify from mold. So we know, just based on the literature, that gallbladder function, good bowel motility, and good stool motility helps us eliminate a lot of mold. We know that because we're contracting our gallbladder, we're eliminating a lot of mold via bile synthesis and ejection, and then having healthy BM. So just by having your gut on track, we're going to be eliminating lots of mold. And if we look at the different types of mold that we can chelate and or pull out of our body, probiotics have effects on detoxifying nearly all mold toxins. Probiotics, according to literature, help us detoxify aflatoxin, gliotoxin, strigomatocysteine, zearalenone, eniatin B, and citrinin. These are all different mold toxins, mycotoxins. Most of them are going to be eliminated with probiotics. Now, what does that mean? That means out of the gate, if you have healthy, the best way to detoxify mold is having good, healthy gut function and good, healthy bacterial balance. So if we have SIBO, bacterial overgrowth, gut infections that are throwing off healthy bacteria balance in our gut, that's going to be one of the major ways that we can chelate mold, is having good, healthy bacteria balance and also having good, healthy biliary function and good, healthy motility. So if we don't have enzyme, acid, bile salt production, we're probably going to be slower motility. If we don't have good bacteria balance with healthy, good levels of bacteria to bad, we're probably not going to be able to chelate mold efficiently as well. So probiotics are like, I think, the home run chelator that most people don't think of, right? We think of like clays and charcoal and medications like cholestyramine, but we forget about the probiotics and how good, healthy gut function plays such a big role.